It's down the road we go. Happy Tuesday, the 8th day of May, 2018. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting your day with us, the NCW Life Channel way. And yes, we do have a way. We work on it every day. Dan Kuntz, your host. Steve Herr, our news director. To the immediate left, Kat is in control today, and Cosme Hernandez from Tiny House Cribs is patiently standing by to talk about itty-bitty houses that are all the rage.
I think they're cool.
They are cool. It's amazing how many things they can cram into that little bitty house.
I know. I know.
And they're making appliances and things custom designed for these houses now. So you have a stove, but it's designed. It's not like you go down to Sears and buy a stove and put it in a tiny house. They're kind of cool.
Even the tiny potties.
Yeah, the tiny potties.
I don't know.
Yeah. And they're great, by the way. They'll be opening for the Dave Matthews Band at the Gorge and George on Labor Day weekend. The Little Potties. The Little Potties. They're good. Yeah, they added a new keyboard player, and it's kind of had a whole new sound to the Little Potties. You want to check them out. Great Tuesday for you today. Good looking day today. We may actually get to 80 degrees. Our forecast high today, when we get to the forecast, is 82. Right now, Steve, it's been 237 consecutive days without the Wenatchee Valley hitting 80 degrees. That's a long time.
Yeah, that is. It's kind of contrary to global warming, isn't it?
Yeah. It seems odd, but it's true. We haven't been that long. It's going to be warm today, so we might actually get to that.
You know, I'd be happy if we just stayed, you know, in the mid-70s year-round.
No.
I think that'd be cool.
No, summertime, sunny and hot. I have no problem with that.
Can't take Southern California out of the boy, I guess.
Yeah, I guess you can't.
I guess you can.
I guess you can't. Steve will be handling the news duties. We got sports to get to. We have the obscure holiday today in history, birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike Midnotty's opinion. Quick little note, after I finished my workday yesterday, Steve, I was driving around town running some errands, and I had the Don West show on.
Oh boy, Don.
Yeah. And I love Don. I love Don. Don is just, his enthusiasm, his personality is just cool.
One of the most recognizable voices in the Valley.
Yeah, I love Don. I really do. And his enthusiasm for the Wenatchee Wild, he worked for the Wenatchee Wild, you know, for a couple of years, is contagious, to say the least.
He's a walking ShamWow commercial.
He's a great guy. He'll sell anything to anybody. I heard he once sold the Pope a double bed.
Did he?
That's
Really?
what I heard.
Oh,
anyway, so I'm driving around and I'm listening to Don. I'm not going to mention the radio station because I told KPQ I wouldn't. And I'm listening to Don, and he's talking about everybody should get together and go up to Chilliwack this weekend to watch the Wild play, because now it's the RBC Cup and it's a short trip. And Don's on the radio and he goes, just get together. It's 3 hours. It's a 3-hour drive from Wenatchee to Chilliwack. So let's go. Let's all get together and give the Wild a bunch of hometown support up there in Chilliwack this weekend. And I went, 3 hours? And I thought, that can't be right. He kept saying it's only a 3-hour drive. And so I got home and I went on Google Maps and I did all the different possible ways to get to Chilliwack. And the shortest distance, time-wise, was 4 hours and 30 minutes.
Oh, boy.
And I thought to myself, I thought two things when I thought about Don. I thought, number one, his enthusiasm for the Wenatchee Wild is unrestrained. And number two, I'm never, ever going to ride in a car if Don West is driving.
If he's going to get there in 3 hours, I'd be a little concerned.
And that's not counting stopping at the border. I love Don. I had to throw that out there. I just thought that was kind of cute.
But it's going to be a great series.
Great series, yeah. It's down to the... And we're going to preview that. We have interviews with Coach Littler and the captain himself, A.J. Vanderbeck, when we get to sports here in just a couple of minutes. We have a live broadcast tonight. It is the District 6 championship game. The Eastmont Wildcats will be hosting the Davis Pirates at Wildcat Stadium in East Wenatchee at 7 o'clock tonight. Our cameras will be there. We'll be broadcasting it live. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen will be on the call. I'm looking forward to that. And it's going to be a good Tuesday. I like Tuesdays. They're good days.
Yeah. Better than Monday.
I don't have any problems with Mondays. If you like what you do, Mondays are a piece of cake. Yeah. I have to remind myself every once in a while, I don't work for a living. It's a pretty good deal. You ready to go around the valley?
I'm ready to check it out.
Let's do it. Courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet, which means you can get screaming fast internet and live in the boonies. So long as you can see our towers, and there's a bunch of them all over north central Washington. Now out in the Grant County area, Steve, you can live out in the middle of nowhere, and as long as you can see any kind of peak or anything where we can put a tower up on, you can get high-speed internet. It's a great deal. That, of course, is the Across camera, it's
And
located
placid waters of the Columbia River this morning.
running a little high, of course, this time of the year. By the way, no real, I went and looked at the spring, the latest forecast.
The
They do
river
this
flows.
twice a day, the river flows. In our area, the people who can see us or view us, we got no real issues at all. They're keeping an eye on the Aniet River near Ardenvore. That's where they measure it. And also the Okanagan River near Pateros, where they measure that. And it's going to run high and it's going to run cold, but they're not worried about flooding.
Now, the same holds true for the Wenatchee River right now.
Yeah.
It's running a little high, but still about, a few weeks away from rafting season.
Yeah, it's a ways away. And you got to remember, this is the kind of scenario that they look for. This is the nicest thing because it's a slow snow melt. All of us, we're not going from 70, 70, 70, and then 3 or 4 days of 90.
Yeah.
That's when they get into trouble because the banks can't handle that kind of snow melt. But if it's a gradual snow melt and a gradual receding of the snow, it's much better.
And this is a perfect world for the PUD because if they can get a gradual snow
Yep.
melt, that helps their hydro generation.
No question about that, Steve. Camera number 2, we say good morning
Oh.
to, that is going, I'm going to say the Manson Water Tower. Am I correct, Kat? I am correct.
Beautiful
The
shot.
Manson Water Tower, beautiful shot.
You can't go
of
wrong
Manson.
with any of our PTZ shots
Yeah.
here.
I did not discover this until a couple of days ago. Manson is unincorporated. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah, there's not a city council,
Yeah, I
not a
did.
police. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know why I didn't know that. I just didn't
Kind
know
of like
that.
Monitor and Malaga, and, those little towns.
All the M's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in the state law. If you're unincorporated, your town must begin with an M, so you know immediately. Monitor, Malaga, and Manson, and
Mabton. No.
Mabton, and Marlin Krupp.
Yeah.
Of course, Marlin Krupp is a huge, huge city now. It's just exploded. Camera number 3. Kat says, let's go to Rock Island, and let's go to Rock Island. And Rock Island, I think, Steve, is going to be a real key to the future growth of Douglas County.
I'll tell you what, it is really growing up in leaps and bounds. I know that the mayor down there is really kind of bullish on where it's headed. And a lot of new development that's going on down there, too.
And new developers like infrastructure, and they have done that in the Rock Island area. They have a sewer system, and they have a good infrastructure
Yeah.
that is really required to build and grow a city. Those things are most important.
Remember the old game, Sim City?
Sure.
Yeah, well, that's how you start with the infrastructure.
Exactly. You start with the infrastructure and you go from there. Good morning, Rock Island. I will be 3-putting those fine greens that you see there over the weekend. And finally, camera number 4. Kat says, let's go to Omi Garden and look at Rocky Reach Dam.
Yeah.
And we are doing that now.
We're doing a little spill this morning, looks like.
Yeah, looks like they're doing a little spill. Rocky Reach Dam really changed the flow of the Columbia River. Rock Island played a significant role, but the big one really was Rocky Reach Dam.
Right.
And these two dams are the closest two hydroelectric dams by distance on the Columbia River. They're pretty close to each other.
Well, prior to that, I mean, the wild and free Columbia River in that stretch, I think, was pretty much rapids, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lost a lot of steamships in that section of river.
So good morning to Rocky Reach Dam. Thanks for joining us. When was the last time you were at the visitor center? Because it's neat.
Visitor Center?
The Rocky Reach Dam.
Oh, it's been a while.
Yeah, you should go. We should go. It's a neat place.
Yeah.
It's a neat place. It really is.
I like
It's
to go
really
to the fish viewing room.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, they had the
that's
foresight in the late 50s and early 60s when they built that dam. They had the foresight to put in a visitor center at the time because it's really hard to retrofit a visitor center on a dam, But they did that, and that was just really good thinking from whoever came up with that idea back in the late 50s and early 60s. Because now you can go there and you can watch. There goes the salmon. There goes the salmon.
I think they have one at the Grand Coulee Dam too, don't they? A visitor center. I believe they do.
They do, yeah.
Well,
But it's a separate. It's a
Yeah.
big. They have the slideshows and the films, and it's not physically attached to the dam like it is at Rocky Reach. But it's still pretty cool.
I've only visited Grand Coulee once, and it was right after. I think it was back in the 90s, during the Iraq War, and they had it closed down at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they also have that great laser show out there too, laser lights.
I remember the first time I saw Grand Coulee Dam with my own 2 eyes, and I went, "That's big.
That's a big.
That's a big dam."
At one time, it was the world's largest cement structure, wasn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
And now the largest cement structure is the area between my 2 ears. At 9 minutes after the hour, your forecast from the National Weather Service. A warm day today. Again, the forecast high of 82 would finally bump us into that 80-degree mark. 237 days without hitting 80 degrees. So we're looking pretty good. And now a cold front, big active cold front arrives tonight. It's going to bring some showers, possibly a thunderstorm in the wee small hours of the morning. We're talking when you're all sleeping. It depends where you're at. You could find a pocket of heavy rain if it happens. Mostly cloudy skies and a low of 58. No wind in the forecast tonight, but it's coming as this cold front comes in. Usually we have that associated with wind and cooler temperatures. So you can see Wednesday considerably cooler. Quite a bit of sunshine, high of 72. Northwest wind tomorrow, 7 to 17 miles an hour, so be prepared for that. It's going to pick up in intensity near 20 miles an hour Wednesday night. Chilly, 50 with the overnight low. Thursday, lots of clouds, very windy. Winds near 30 miles an hour. On Thursday, and a high of only 71. And then we begin to warm up as another system begins to build up. 73 Friday, 83 Saturday, 86 on
90.
Sunday. Yeah, I hope my air conditioning works. We're going to find out this weekend.
That's when we'll see the snow melt really start to amp up.
But that's actually not bad. I mean, we have had days in mid-May where we've had long stretches of 4, 5, 6 days in the 90s. So a gradual warm up is much better.
Enjoy it while you can.
Enjoy it while you can, exactly. Somebody, you know it's going to happen on Saturday. Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to be out and about, and somebody's going to go, "It's too hot," you know, when it's 84 degrees.
Things are drying out in a hurry, though, as evidenced from your fire yesterday.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's our lead story, is it not? When we come back, Steve, we had a little bit of a fire yesterday. Steve Hare has the news. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from Studio 4 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by Localtel. Mayfest takes place May 11th to May 13th in downtown Leavenworth. This weekend will be filled with music, dancing, and springtime fun. Wenatchee Mops Run for Your Mother 1K and 5K is Saturday, May 12th at Pybus Market. Join Wenatchee Mothers of Preschoolers to support moms in the community. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
It's time to celebrate your mom. Head on over to Wenatchee Valley Mall, where you'll find a great gift for any type of mom.
I have a glamour mom. She loves the frills.
My mom's down to earth. She loves to chill.
My mom likes to relax all day.
My mom could buck a bale of hay.
Pick up a gift certificate from your favorite mall retailer and let mom have a shopping day for herself. Check out the special events tab at WenatcheeValleyMall.com. Find it all at Wenatchee Valley Mall.
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
And on this 8th day of May, here's some of the stories we're following around north central Washington. First of all, the calendar says May, but it looked more like August yesterday afternoon when the fire crews responded to an early season brush fire in the Wenatchee foothills. It was located near a residence in the 3300 block of number 1 Canyon Road. Officials with Chelan County Fire District 1 say it started when an old debris pile burned and reignited. It's quickly spread uphill. Crews from Chelan and Douglas counties with help from the DNR quickly responded. They were able to contain that fire to about an acre in size. Homes were threatened for a period of time, but no structures were lost and there were no injuries reported. Also, here was the scene yesterday on I-90 Snoqualmie Pass, a semi crashing, forcing the closure of the westbound lanes, resulting in a 14-mile backup in traffic. Crews detected a fuel leak from the semi, and that prompted cleanup and recovery efforts. Removing the semi from the ditch required 3 heavy-duty tow trucks, and 1 truck malfunctioned, unfortunately. The roadway was reopened, but closed again last night around midnight to allow crews to remove that truck from the roadway. Despite challenges with spring snow and avalanche conditions, State Route 20, the North Cascades Highway, is on track to reopen Friday morning at 10. Over the last several weeks, DOT crews have worked on opposite ends of that 37-mile closed section of roadway. They finally met up yesterday near Rainy Pass. It normally takes about 4 to 6 weeks. This year, it'll take 7 due to the soft snow and the risky avalanche conditions. Although clearing took longer than usual, the gates are still opening in time for this weekend's 49 days celebration in Winthrop. Well, this year's Apple Blossom Festival was relatively crime-free, according to Wenatchee Police Captain Edgar Reinfeld. The law enforcement calls for service paled in comparison to festivals of the past when outside agencies had to be called in to help with the unruly crowds.
the family-friendly push has been going on for a long time, from everybody from the city council to business owners, the festival committees. Everybody wants a low-key, family-friendly festival that everyone can enjoy in a safe manner, and that's exactly what happened. We had absolutely minimal activity through the festival period, even at the festival locations. Some of our traditional problem locations, Memorial Park, of course, ends up being a problem just because it's where everyone gathers. So if everyone is there, if there's going to be an issue, it's going to happen there. And we had minimal issues in Memorial Park, a very limited number of thefts. I think we trespassed the fewest number of people I've seen in my entire career from the food fair and craft fair in any year that I can recall, in my 14 years of doing this. And so that's a really good thing, because it means there was less bad behavior there. As far as other activity in the community, very low-key, very minor issues around the parade and around the bike races that led to any problems that had to be dealt with, and certainly none with either of those.
Now, there was one lone incident of note, according to Reinfeld, that involved a woman who accidentally shot herself in the leg.
A person was trying to place their firearm in their purse and managed to cause a discharge of the firearm and shot themselves in the leg in their car. They were the ones who called. There was no public disturbance, or nobody was alarmed by this or alarmed to it. She was able to call 911 for herself, for an ambulance, and police, of course, responded.
And that woman was treated at Central Washington Hospital for that leg wound. Reinfeld said no charges were filed. Linda Harold announces her candidacy for state representative in the 12th Legislative District to replace Carrie Condata. Harold made the announcement in a prepared news release Monday evening. Now, in that news release, Harold said she has a long history of community service and, again, currently serving as a council member for the city of Wenatchee. She says her top priorities are protecting constitutional rights, also to work with and continue to improve the health care, agricultural, and tourism industries, ensure quality education for our children, and, in her words, support healthy business communities and help reduce homelessness throughout our 12th district. Linda serves on the City Council's Finance Committee. She represents the city on the Wenatchee Valley-Missawa Sister City Board and Chelan Douglas Homeless Steering Committee. You can learn more about her candidacy and background on our website at ncwlife.com. In addition, a second candidate has put his hat into the ring for Chelan County District 2 Commissioner. Zachary Miller has announced he intends to file next week for the position. Miller joins Bob Boogert in that race to replace retiring incumbent Keith Gaynor. Miller is a Leavenworth native. He owns and operates Miller Stoneware. He also has experience working for various nonprofit groups such as Tall Timber and Plain Community Church. Miller is running as an independent candidate. Next week, by the way, is candidate filing week in Washington State in advance of the August primary. Hey, let's give a shout out to the City of Chelan. The historic Downtown Chelan Association and Lake Chelan Historical Society received the Community Partnership Award at the Washington Main Streets Excellence on Main Awards ceremony that was held in Port Townsend in April. The ceremony was held in conjunction with Revitalize WA, Washington State's Preservation and Main Street Conference. Excellence on Main, organized by the Washington State Main Street Program, celebrates communities, organizations, and individuals who are helping to achieve economic vitality, and build sustainable communities through downtown revitalization and preservation. Our final story today this week is Public Service Recognition Week. Today we feature Faith Webb. She's a special education instructor at Rock Island Elementary School. She loves her job and recently shared with us her interesting journey into special education with the Eastmont School District.
Hi, my name is Faith Webb and I teach at Rock Island Elementary in the special education room. I've been teaching for 10 years. When I was growing up, I just wanted to be a mom, and then I had my daughter and realized that I needed to take care of her. So I went to school with the intention of just being a general education teacher. I have a brother who is special and was actually placed at a home out of state because he was so severe. So I didn't really want to have anything to do with the special education classroom. And then I took one class, and that was it for me. I've been doing it ever since. I went to Central Washington University. I started here and did my 2 years and got my AA. Then I transferred to Central. Then I've earned my master's degree. I also just completed my national board certification. So I'm done for a while. Yeah, I've been here the whole time. I had triplets in 2010, so they let me take 3 years for half-time because it was pretty big to have 3. But I've been here ever since, and I don't plan to leave. The most rewarding thing is watching the kids learn and interact and engage with the other kids. I think the most important thing to know about a special education job or a teacher and students is that the kids just learn differently. I had a student ask me, well, why does he get to come and see you? And I said, well, you know, he just learns things differently. When you learned to ride a bike, did someone hold the bike for you, or were you able just to hop on and go? He's like, well, I could just hop on and go. I said, well, sometimes people need to have someone hold on a little longer. They still learn to ride the bike, it just takes a different way. And he's like, oh, so it's more of they deserve everything that every other kid gets. They just may need more time and repetition and strategies. But they should never be thought of as different, ever.
Again, that's Faith Webb, low profile during our recognition this week of Public Service Recognition Week. And we'll be sharing with you each day this week a public employee who is toiling and really kind of shows how your tax dollars do work.
It's funny because today is actually National Teacher Appreciation Day as well.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You probably didn't know that.
Yeah.
So National Teacher Appreciation Day. We all have teachers growing up.
Oh, boy.
And the kids, when you're a kid, you know, and the teachers know too, because I've interviewed many teachers on this show, and they say the kids know. You can't put one by the kids.
No.
If you're faking it, you're toast. The kids know. We all have our favorite teachers. I remember all of my favorite teachers. I remember every one of my favorite teachers who I knew was leaning forward a little bit, for lack of a better term. You knew they gave a damn, I guess is the best way to put it, as opposed to those teachers who were phoning it in and I have 19 days till retirement kind of teachers. The kids know, and yeah, I remember my favorite teachers. Most of them have exited their earthly vessel, but I went to all of their services.
Dennis Bowles, I think, Chelan County Commissioner, PUD Commissioner, as a teacher of yours, wasn't
he? He was my psychology and sociology teacher back in high school.
Yeah.
Man, does he have some stories about me. I was a great kid. But I remember Estelle Taylor, and I remember Joe Pless, and I remember Terry Hammond was a teacher of mine at Orchard Junior High School at the time, and most of my high school teachers they were really good teachers. Dennis among them.
Yeah.
So, but the kids know.
I had 2 teachers in my life. I think one in elementary and one in high school that really stand out as people that really influenced my life.
Yeah. It is 22 minutes after the hour. Don't forget to make a point of watching the news. There's Grant Olson at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock are your 3 chances to catch up on what happened on this Tuesday with Grant Olson in the anchor chair, Eric Grandstrom handling sports. You can also watch it on demand by going to our website at ncwlife.com. ncwlife.com. It's usually right on the front page. You can't miss it. And we'll get that posted up and running late afternoon, early evening if you don't have the time to actually sit down with your family and watch our evening newscast. And we also love it when you get a hold of us. You can do it via Facebook. You can do it via our aforementioned website. You can write us a letter doing the honors to let you know all the different ways you can contact us. Please welcome News Director S. Mitchell Hare.
Well, that's right. We're always looking for news ideas, folks. If you have an event or a program you think we ought to cover, give us a line, drop a line at our website at ncwlife.com. You can communicate with us on social media, on Facebook or Twitter. You can also email us at the address of news@ncwlife.com. And then finally, our hotline for breaking news. Call us with fire information or whatever you have going on. 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Our NCW Life hotline.
Still to come, sports, the obscure holiday today in history, birthdays, and everyone is entitled to Matt Benatti's opinion. Partly cloudy skies and 54 degrees. Outside of our studios, 82. The forecast high today. Going to take a quick 1-minute break. Sports, we're going to preview the RBC Cup. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live this morning from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life channel.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to come down and check out what we're all about at Badger Mountain Brewing.
Great beer, good food, and an endless source of entertainment for the whole family. Our Honey Blonde beer is flying off the shelves at your local grocery store. But I tell you what, it's even better on tap. And while you're here, try our signature Badger sauce with one of our delicious meals. Whether you're in the mood for a wrap, salad, pizza, or nachos, Badger Mountain Brewing has what you're looking for.
And we're back here at Studio 8 in downtown Wenatchee. It is just about 26 minutes after the hour. Sports. Okay, Fred Page Cup, check. Doyle Cup, check. 1 cup to go, the RBC Cup. It is the national championship of all of Junior A hockey in Canada. There are 137 teams who play Junior A hockey, and the very best of the best will be gathering in Chilliwack this weekend. Prior to the RBC Cup, it was known as the Centennial Cup. In the combined 47-year history of this competition, an American team has never won the Canadian Championship. Wenatchee coach Bliss Littler says where you're from doesn't matter.
You know, a loose puck doesn't know what your nationality is. It knows who gets there first, and I think our skill level has been very good. We've had good resolve where things have gone against us. We've been able to bounce back pretty well the next day. So again, we've really tried. We have the poster up there. It says battle for the border. We kind of figured out that year one that the more we make it about that, we felt the refereeing got in the way, and we really tried to get away from that. Even though it's a trendy, catchy marketing deal, we just stayed after the guys. It's a loose puck. Be first.
Of course, last week the Wild became the first American team ever to win the Doyle Cup. A.J. Vanderbeek and Austin Park both realized the significance of the opportunity in front of them.
Yeah, it's definitely special. You can do it for your fans, do it for your community, you can do it for the country. I mean, first American team to win the Doyle Cup and have a chance to be the first American team to win the RBC Cup. It's very special.
I think it's awesome. We are a part of history. We're the first team to win the Doyle Cup, and we have a chance to be the first team to win the RBC Cup. And that's amazing. How many people get to say they were the first at anything, nowadays? So it's really incredible.
So the schedule is out, and there it is on your screen. Let me walk you through it. It's a round-robin tournament. The RBC Cup is. It begins Saturday. The Wild will take on the host team, Chilliwack, a team we're very familiar with. That'll be Saturday at 7 o'clock. Then they'll face the Steinbach Pistons Sunday at 2. They get Monday off. The Ottawa Juniors Senators will take on the Wild Tuesday at 2 in the afternoon. They get Wednesday off, and the Wellington Dukes Thursday at 2. Then the 4 teams with the best round-robin records will play in the semifinals on Saturday, and then the RBC Cup Championship game will be played at 4 o'clock on Sunday, May 20th. Go Wild. Here's the prep schedule for today. Let's take a look-see at it. Eastmont will host Eisenhower. It's a Big 9 District baseball play-in game, 5 o'clock at Dan White Field. The winner will play the winner of today's Davis West Valley game Friday at Moses Lake. The Eastmont softball team starts a home stretch today, the first of 3 games this week against the first place Moses Lake Chiefs. A Wildcat sweep would give Eastmont the regular season title. Today's game starts at 4 o'clock at the Sterling Sports Complex. The playoff continues in boys soccer. Brewster will host Cascade. Bridgeport is at Chelan in the district CTL CWB tournament. They're both loser-out games, and they both start at 4:30 tonight. Eastmont will host Davis tonight at 7 o'clock. It's for the district championship. We'll have it live right here on the NCW Live channel. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wiseman will be calling the action. Wenatchee hopes to keep its season alive. They have a playoff game down at Sunnyside, also at 7 o'clock. Other prep sports on the calendar today includes Eastmont Tennis hosting Eisenhower at 3. Eastmont and Wenatchee boys golfers at the Yakima Elks Golf Club. A 1 o'clock tee time. It's the final Big 9 pod of the season. And we can't forget the Mariners. They begin a road trip today, 7-game road trip. They're in Toronto. James Paxton gets to start against Marcus Stroman. 4:07 first pitch. Seattle is in 3rd place in the American League West behind LA and Houston. They are 19-14 on the year, just a game and a half back. The Blue Jays are 3rd in the American League East behind the Red Sox and the Yankees. And that is sports at just about 7:30 on this Tuesday morning. It's time for the obscure holiday of the day today. It's the first Tuesday in the first full week in May, and that means it is Teachers' Day. Teachers' Day, Teachers' Appreciation Day. Special thanks to the teachers and their importance. Almost every country in the world that has some sort of organized education system celebrates a Teachers' Day. It can be shifted around. Here in the United States, the first Teachers' Day was established March 7th, 1980. You think it would have been before that. They changed it to the first Tuesday in May in 1985, and then after that they switched it to the first Tuesday, or the only Tuesday in the first full week in May. It's kind of confusing, isn't it? Teachers, we love you. Students, show the respect and the love that you have for your teachers. Give the teacher a handwritten note or a card, or can't go wrong with the apple. Of course, Teacher Appreciation Day. Just think about one of the teachers, or maybe many of the teachers, who had an impact on your life today. You know there's at least one on Teacher Appreciation Day today, on this 8th day of May. All right, let's do Today in History. 3 items. If you lived anywhere near Mount Pelée today, get yourself out of town, because she's going to go. And 166 years ago, that's not right. It was it was May 8th, 1902. In Martinique, Mount Pelée erupted. The town of St. Pierre was doomed because it was only 4 miles from the summit. Not a good place to put the town. Over 30,000 people were killed. Just a handful of residents survived the blast. And unlike many volcanoes where there was a little bit of activity and, hey, we got a problem here, maybe we should get out of town, there was just a couple of little warning signs, and then boom, in the early morning hours of May 8th, 1902, she blew. 30,000 people lost their lives when Mount Pelée erupted. May 8th, 1945, we win the war. VE Day. German forces in the West agreed to an unconditional surrender. They didn't surrender to the Soviets in the East for a couple of days longer, but it was all over, and the party began. That's the headlines from the New York Times on, ironically enough, a Tuesday, May 8th, 1945, VE Day. And finally, a great day, May 8th, 1980, smallpox gone. That's the report. The World Health Organization confirms the eradication of smallpox. Smallpox gone for good, May 8th, 1980. One of only 2 diseases that have been completely eradicated from the earth because of vaccines. Say goodbye to smallpox on this date 38 years ago today. And finally, May 8th, we got some birthdays for you. The 33rd President of the United States, and one of my very favorites, Harry S. Truman, was born on this date in 1884. Passed away the day after Christmas, 1972, at the age of 88. Fun facts about Harry Truman: remains, of course, the only president, the only world leader for that matter, who used nuclear weapons in war. He desegregated the U.S. Armed Forces. He was an early supporter of a brand new independent country called Israel. He was helped founded the United Nations, the only president of the 20th century not to graduate from college. And he had a good old-fashioned mother-in-law. His mother-in-law tolerated Harry Truman, but she didn't much care for him, even when he was the President of the United States. Bess Truman, of course, was Harry Truman's wife, and Bess Truman's mom was from an old Confederate family. And when she came to visit her daughter and her son-in-law in the White House when he was president, President Truman said, "Mom, I'll let you take the Lincoln bedroom." And she said, "There's no way I'm sleeping in the Lincoln bedroom. Are you nuts?" Harry S. Truman, born on this date in May 8th, terribly unappreciated as a president. Don Rickles, we lost this guy last year. Mr. Warmth, there he is, Don Rickles, born May 8th, 1926, passed away last year at the age of 90. Just a hilarious guy. One of the comedians said, "You know you've made it in this business when you get insulted by Don Rickles." We miss Don. Don Rickles, born in this state in 1926. The most underrated of the early rock and roll stars was Rick Nelson. Rick Nelson was born in this state in 1940, passed away under tragic circumstances in a plane incident at the age of 45 back in 1985. 53 songs in the Billboard Hot 100. Poor Little Fool was a big #1er for him. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, class of 1987. Terribly underappreciated. He was considered a teeny bopper, you know, part of the Fabian and and those guys. He was not. He was a true rocker and roller, terribly unappreciated. All of his music is good. The great Rick Nelson, born in the state of 1940. And speaking of musicians, Joe Bonamassa, probably the best blues guitarist going today. God, this guy can play the axe, can't he? He's 41 years old today. Just go to YouTube and type in Joe Bonamassa and enjoy the music. The guy can play the axe. He's 41 years old today. 35 minutes after the hour. Everyone is entitled to Mike Magnotti's opinion. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. And then Cosme Hernandez is back. He is part of the Tiny House Cribs. He's been on this show before. He's got a big event coming up on May 12th. We'll talk to Cosme. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up in Anchi Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
For plumbing, heating, or cooling repair, Patriot will be right there.
Don't wait till your equipment breaks. This Lennox dealer can help.
Keep your home comfort system running smoothly with regular checkups from Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call Patriot today.
Patriot Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling will give your home a hug.
Get up to $1,700 in rebates or special financing.
I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCW Life channel.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
I'm NCW Life News Director Steve Hare.
Catch us on Local Tel Channel 12.
You can watch us on Charter Channel 19 or stream us live on ncwlife.com.
Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.
Where we cover the local high schools, the Wenatchee Wild, and the pro teams out of Seattle.
On Saturday, we have a 90% chance of rain.
Catch it all right here on the NCW Life channel.
Hi, I'm Blair with Works, your workout prescription. You know, the very best time to start an exercise habit, well, frankly, it was a long time ago, but the second best time is right now. And with the March basketball season on us, we're going to try to entice you with a Sweet 16 offer. $16 to join. It includes a 3D body scan so that you can monitor progress, and it includes your exercise prescription. The way that you start an exercise habit is by starting. Works, yourworkoutrx.com.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guests for, well, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel.
How about having majestic mountains, a beautiful shoreline, and 26 acres of lush walking trails be the backdrop of your special event? Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp has cabins, meeting spaces, and a lodge with a kitchen that will accommodate large gatherings. Our staff at Lake Wenatchee YMCA Camp will work with you to ensure that your wedding, retreat, class reunion, or birthday is amazing. Reserve your day today.
Hey, it's Mike, Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, there's been some backlash over the recent attention given to the issue of sexual abuse and harassment of women. Now, this might be understandable if you're not aware of the scope of the issue, so let's look at it. Supposed experts say that 1 in 4 females will be sexually assaulted in some way by the time they graduate high school. That's 25% of the female population, folks. That's terrible. Okay, but what's worse is that these same supposed experts say that these incidents are very vastly underreported. So, are we paying too much attention to the issue of sexual harassment and assault? No, I think not. Now, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
I have a doctor who knows what they're talking about.
It's just so much more hands-on and friendly than anywhere else I've ever been.
It's really great to walk into somewhere where you feel welcomed and you feel accepted.
We've just been grateful for the care and respect that we've been given there.
And here when I come to visit my doctor, I'm not afraid to ask questions.
It's not just about getting you in and out.
I love my care at CVCH. It's awesome. Give it a try.
Hi everyone, Brent. Hey, don't mind, we're just making a commercial here, Randall. You're okay. Hi everyone, Brent here. You're gonna love this. When you see this, come down and see us behind Nissan. I can do it. I can do it. The all-new 2018 Nissan. That's done, I'm done. We can't do it. Come down and see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee. Better performance, better.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Frappuccino mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
It's a free walk-in job search assistance center. It is designed to help job seekers with the tools that they need to find a job. We have partnered with libraries in 5 other cities, providing the same types of services that we offer here, just there.
Just walk in, we have laptops, and we can help you with resume, cover letter.
All of our services are paid for by the revenues earned in our store. Goodwill is just a tool that the community is using to help their neighbors find a job. Goodwill, there's more behind the store.
And welcome back. Just about 42 minutes after the hour. I am Dan Kuntz, your host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. This gentleman is making his second appearance on this program. He visited us back in March, right after the Building North Central Washington Home Show, but before the KPQ Home Show. It's all about the tiny house movement, and this is the guy who runs the tiny house. Well, I just should say runs the tiny house movement. Cosme Hernandez is back. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for having us.
It's been almost 2 months since I've seen you. So how's biz? First of all.
Oh, it's been very well, man. I just got back from Bainbridge Island. I had to transport one of our tiny house units to the island through a Washington State ferry. So it's pretty exciting. I mean, tiny houses are even appearing on islands now, which is pretty nice.
What are the Washington State, because I know they have special fees for those kinds of things, right? Probably around $100 on the ferry, right?
I've never driven a Washington State ferry ever in my life, so it was pretty exciting. I had to call them. It was double the rates because this gentleman wanted an over-wide tiny house foundation. So we had to pay double the price than what a traditional, just a traditional truck or SUV going over using the ferry. So it was pretty interesting, and it was double the price, but we got it over. The customer was satisfied. So
you're in this bit, you've done a lot of different things. I'm not going to get into Cosme's background. He's done a lot of things in his young life. You are convinced that this whole tiny home thing is not a fad. It's here to stay, right?
Absolutely. And now that there's an actual legal definition of what a tiny house is, we're excited to bring it and make it a household concept for individuals and homeowners.
So talk about what's happening this Saturday at the Douglas County PUD Auditorium. You got a little something going on, don't you?
Absolutely. We have a major event. Ladies and gentlemen, I am inviting all of Wenatchee Valley to the 2018 Intro to the Tiny House Movement public event. This event will be at the Douglas County PUD Auditorium, May 12th. It's going to be from 9 in the morning to about noon. We're going to have local city council members from both East Wenatchee and Wenatchee addressing the legal challenges, what they're doing to address affordable housing. We're going to have other tiny house enthusiasts there, local leaders. We're going to have people from the nonprofit sector addressing what they are doing to address and make an impact in homelessness in Wenatchee Valley.
And you think this could be one of the keys, is to get people who are residentially challenged, a word I just made up, into a tiny home. It could be it's not the solution, but it certainly could be a conduit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be sharing statistics on the state of housing and economics here in Wenatchee Valley. We're going to talk about why homeowners are seeing tiny homes as a viable solution towards affordable housing. And we're going to be addressing why people are building buying, renting, and leasing tiny homes in Wenatchee Valley.
What about all the legal ramifications, like zoning, and can I put this tiny house on my tiny lot and things like that? Are you going to be able to answer some of those questions?
Absolutely, and we're going to be addressing the zoning and the building codes associated with having a tiny house on a private property, or moreover, creating a tiny house village, a tiny house community, and or a tiny house resort in Wenatchee Valley. What does that mean legally?
Who's your number one target for tiny houses? Is it millennials who don't spend a lot of time at home and they just need a place to sleep and cook a meal and maybe watch a little television? Or is it retired people, or what? Is there a typical tiny house client or resident, or they run the gamut?
You know, we like to say tiny houses are for everyone, even though a lot of people saying tiny houses may not be for me. 85% of people who dwell or use a tiny house are millennials. And then we have also a percentage of individuals who are already retired, who are senior citizens, who are also using tiny homes as a way to downsize or as a way to have a comfortable quality of life after they've retired.
How long does it take to build a tiny house? Because I believe is out in Malaga is where your plant is, right?
Absolutely. All of our manufacturing goes down in the area of Malaga, south of Wenatchee, right next to the Columbia River. It takes about 2 months from start to finish to make a fully finished tiny house. Moreover, obviously, we make tiny house kits for individuals who want to create their own tiny house products. They can, just buy kits, the foundation or the shell from our organization also.
And then you're on your own after that.
And then if you wanted to finish the interior design and floor plan, however my construction friends like to do so, they can finish it up however they please.
The tiny houses are not one size fits all. I mean, there are floor plans that you choose from. You have plan A, plan B, plan C, but that you can also custom design certain parts of your tiny house, right?
Absolutely. We have, in our organization, we have certain models that are been working on with the state of Washington. People can just, get something like that. They can also choose a custom-made tiny house option. And then, like I said, for my do-it-yourself friends who I'd rather save thousands of dollars than make myself one, they can just get the trailer foundation from our organization to keep it on the wheels.
We know there's a housing shortage, housing not quite at crisis level. It could be getting there. But there are patches of land in north central Washington that are fairly cheap, right? I mean, you can buy a pretty small lot for not a lot of money and then pop a house on it and be happy.
It's one of the foundations of our people. There's people today who are buying lots, vacant lots. They're putting a travel trailer or a fifth wheel or a motorhome already there. They're dwelling in it temporarily so they can build their middle class or whatever dream home that they aspire to have as they succeed in life. So one of my personal mentors has done that already. I know people all over the country who've bought a lot, put their trailer or RV or whatever they own, put it there temporarily, and then over time they build their own house without getting in a 30-year mortgage.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
And the best thing is, tiny houses, as you might imagine, pretty affordable, are they not?
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not a big chunk of change.
Yeah, it's pretty inexpensive. That's one of the things. And actually, I'm going to share some statistics on what people are currently buying as far as what they consider home and housing. So we're going to be sharing a lot of great information at this event. It's really just for education and for people from both the public, private, nonprofit, and retail consumers to understand where we are as a tiny house movement and what local governments are doing to address the tiny house movement in our local valley.
When you say tiny house, the average tiny house is how many square feet?
The average tiny house is anywhere from 150 square feet to 400. Actually, we can max out at about 400 square feet.
400 square feet, you can cram a lot into 400 square feet, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there's people right now in Wenatchee Valley, and I drive around everywhere. There's RV parks, mobile home parks that are filled with full-time RVers, people who have a used RV or purchased a new RV and they're living in it because they just cannot afford $1,500 a month for rent at an apartment here locally in the valley. We're also going to be addressing low-income housing, and what that is basically the government pays half or part of your housing costs, and then you pay. I have a person out in who works at Fred Meyer who has a family of two children, him and his wife, paying $950 a month for low-income housing. And these individuals usually typically at a company like Fred Meyer, they're at the bottom, usually a minimum wage or a little bit over minimum wage. So the struggle is real for a lot of our local day-to-day employees in the Valley.
You can have a tiny house there, Cosme?
Absolutely. We're going to have either 1 or 2 units on display also. And I just got an email from Wenatchee Valley Tech Center that they are looking to be at our event. The Tech Center does have a high school tiny house project right now. They're going to be also looking to feature that tiny house concept, which I believe they are auctioning the tiny house that the high school individuals are doing. So pretty exciting. If you're looking to get a tiny house, our local high school individuals here, they're going to be auctioning out or raffling out, I think something to that effect. They're going to be auctioning out the tiny house, which is coming out tremendously good quality, backed up by licensed contractors and professionals. And it's, I mean, local high school students are working on that project. So I'm pretty excited about their project. They're looking to have it at our event also.
It is Saturday morning, begins at 9 o'clock at the Douglas County PUD Auditorium on the east side. It goes from 9 a.m. to noon. Is there a formal program, or you come and go as you please and you just learn, or are there little seminars that you're going to be teaching? How does that work? Yeah, so it's just an open event. I mean, it's just education. You're going to sit there, you're going to learn, you're going to meet and greet a lot of tiny house enthusiasts. There's going to be a lineup of speakers from both public government officials, myself. There's going to be nonprofit or leaders that are going to be addressing different things. And you can be able to tour the different tiny houses that are going to be at our local event also. We're inviting all the public. This is a free admission event. It's a community event, no charge, free of charge, and we hope to see everyone there. Cosme, where can people go for more information while I have you here? Do you have like a Facebook page or just something so they can just do a little homework before they show up? Yeah, there's a Facebook event, Tiny House Cribs on Facebook. There's a Facebook event. We encourage people, please RSVP. Space is limited. We're only allowed to have 185 people at this event. I already have over 100 people thus far that said, I want to be at the intro to the Tiny House Movement public event hosted by Tiny House Cribs. So we really encourage folks, RSVP, bring groups. If you rent an apartment or a house, if you're a homeowner, if you wanted to put a tiny house in your backyard, you want to help somebody get going in life through the use of a tiny house, be at this event. I didn't laugh when you said the Tiny House Movement has a limited space available for Saturday. We have limited space available, and the reason is there's a whole fire marshal and life safety. I understand completely. There's only 185 seats at this venue, so we hope to see a lot of people there either way. Cosme Hernandez, Tiny House Cribs. Good to see you, my friend. Have a good day on Saturday. Let us know how it goes, all right? Awesome. Thank you for having me. We're going to take a quick break, then we'll be right back. You watch your Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
At Doghouse Motorsports, we ride what we sell. There's a lot we could say about the CD Spark and the CD GTI, but ultimately, the ride says it all.
Every golfer aims to play their best, and smart golfers turn to the Golfer's Edge to get the Golfer's Edge. PGA professional Ed Payne has you covered from tee to green. You can work on your swing or play 18 in air-conditioned comfort on the golf simulator. Tanya's Corner has all the apparel the golfer needs at sale prices. And Ed can even rebuild your favorite set of clubs or custom make you a brand new set. Ask how you can qualify for a free 30-minute lesson at the Golfer's Edge on Mission between Kittitas and Yakima. Walk and Roll Wenatchee's Asian Express is fast, fresh food. Wenatchee Roll's new Poke Hawaiian Fresh Salad Bar is the best. Fresh greens, fresh seafood, and handmade sauces. You know what you want. At Walk and Roll, create your own style meal. Hot off the line chicken, beef, and veggie plates. Lunch or dinner to match your appetite. Fresh sushi, hot entrees, Poke Fresh Salad Bar. It's new. It's Walk and Roll Wenatchee, fast, fresh food your way. Located on 5th and Mission.
What's your auto mocha emergency?
It's a Paprika mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely the espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull.
Hi everyone, Brent. Hey, don't mind, we're just making a commercial here, Randall. You're okay. Hi everyone, Brent here. You're gonna love this. When you see this, come down and see us behind Nissan. I can do it. I can do it. The all-new 2018 Nissan. That's done, I'm done. We can't do it. Come down and see us at Town Nissan behind Costco in East Wenatchee. Better performance, better.
Got about 4 minutes on this Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Brent Crowder, he just cracks me up. He's a funny guy. He and Grant Olson did a great job with the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade last Friday. And here in the Wenatchee Valley, I think we're still going through that post-Apple Blossom exhale, I think is what's still going on. Speaking of Apple Blossom, Festival Administrator Darcy Christopherson will wrap up the 99th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival she'll be on the show tomorrow. We'll visit about that. We'll have a great conversation with Darcy. Keep in mind, there's still 2 events, official Apple Blossom events, that either are coming up or are still going on. One is Guys and Dolls. Guys and Dolls continues its run this weekend at the Numerica Performing Arts Center with closing night on Saturday night the 12th. I'm looking forward to that. It's been a great show. And also the Helen Hooves Rodeo, which is coming up at the Town Toyota Center, is also an official Apple Blossom sanctioned event. So there's still 2 events to go before Apple Blossom officially wraps up. Let's do your weather forecast from the National Weather Service. It's a very spring-like forecast. You see that high today of 82 degrees, so quite warm. But the clouds are going to be increasing. We got quite a bit of sunshine today, but by late afternoon, early evening, the clouds will be prevalent. The sun will be gone. Well, not gone. It's not going to go anywhere. It just will be covered up. A high today of 82, and as we mentioned this at the beginning of the program, it's been 237 days since the Wenatchee Valley got to at least 80 degrees. It was sometime in mid-September was the last time we were that warm. It's been a long stretch, but it looks like we're going to break that today. And then a cold front, a vigorous cold front arrives tonight, which means a little bit of everything tonight. We get showers and thunderstorms. Thunderstorms is possible during this transition because the weather and the atmosphere is going to be very unsettled. Now, it's not a big chance of thunderstorms. There's a good chance of rain. We got about a 70% chance of rain tonight. As far as thunderstorms, that's going to be hit and miss rainfall tonight between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch possible. And as is usual happens when a cold front comes in on Wednesday, it's going to cool us down and make us quite windy, high of 72 on Wednesday with a northwest wind of 7 to 17 miles an hour. Wednesday night, partly cloudy and chilly for this time of year. Overnight low of about 50. Northwest wind Wednesday night at 8 to 17 miles an hour. Thursday, lots of clouds, breezy, and a high of 71. So Thursday is the most inclement day of the work week. If you're going to be out and about, you're going to be dealing with some wind. The wind will be out of the west, 15 to 20 miles an hour, gusts near 30 at times on Wednesday, but that means the cold front is exiting the area. Transition continues on Thursday night. By Friday, things change again. Partly sunny on Friday. Saturday, 83 degrees. Sunday, 86 degrees. Monday, 86 degrees. That's a forecast I can live with. So again, increasing clouds today. Lots of sunshine in the morning. The clouds will be thickening up. It'll be quite cloudy tonight. We have unsettled weather with some significant rain and maybe a thunderstorm spilling overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. Thursday is going to be rainy and breezy and cloudy. And then for the upcoming weekend with lots of events going on, the weather looks just about perfect. Leavenworth's Mayfest, of course, is this weekend. Touch a Truck is being held at the Town Toyota Center parking lot. That's going to be going on this weekend as well. Manson has their Apple Blossom Festival. Can't forget about that. The 49ers Days goes on up in Winthrop. It is festival season, and it looks like Mother Nature is going to cooperate. Quick programming note. We have live high school soccer tonight. The Eastmont Wildcats play host to the Davis Pirates for the Big 9 District 6 Soccer Championship. Both teams have already punched their ticket to the regions. This is going to be a seeding game. It's going to be exciting. We'll have it tonight at 7 o'clock with Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen. Everybody have a great Tuesday. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.